Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.
Hello and welcome to a new episode on our podcast. And today, if you want to learn how to market your business strategically and smart and doing it in the best way possible, this is the episode for you because I want to present you Dr. Suhair Hamouri. Hey, Suhair, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
You know, it's been such a pleasure to host you in this podcast and I know we're going to have an amazing conversation.
Yeah, I look forward to our conversation and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. And so before we dive into strategically marketing and doing the things on the best way matter for businesses, could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because I know that you have a magnificent story of how you even got to the world of marketing.
My journey has been a fusion between passion for what I'm doing and pushing myself beyond the comfort zones. Whenever I feel comfortable, I push myself beyond that. And that takes me to another level of achievement. So I was inspired by my grandmother who had an entrepreneurial spirit in the 1970s when she had the first bridal salon in our city in Jordan. I was so impressed with that. And I knew that time that I wanted to do something related to what she does, like something challenging. But having grown up in Dubai, such a dynamic and a vibrant city, I've always seen how businesses had a chance to be prosperous and to succeed because all elements of success of business are there. While I was determined on creating very strong foundations, academically speaking. So I went from studying a bachelor's in pharmacy to MBA and then a PhD in marketing. And all the time I was inspired by this feeling of, I need to do something different. I need to do something that other people are not thinking of. And that eventually took me to my journey to establish my own business and open a startup company specialized in marketing strategy.
Amazing. And I know, and you also told me, you enviously didn't say it right now, but you're also a professor for marketing in the academic. So, and I know that you also have a lot of experience marketing yourself for many companies. So how do you see the gap or how do you bridge the gap between sometimes I'm the field, you know, that academics are not connected to the real world in a lot of reasons. So how do you bridge this gap between academics and real life marketing?
This is a beautiful question.
Thank you.
It's where I find myself talking. So I started in pharmaceutical companies. So I took the business part of marketing. And then I moved to academia to pursue my PhD. While teaching in the university, I realized that our students, like my students, when they graduate, they come back to me and say, Doctor, what we are seeing outside is not the same as what you are teaching me in the book. And I agree with them because you cannot, like in the books, you cannot bring all the experience from the market and put it inside the book. So I always felt that there is a gap between the theory in the classrooms and the practice that people do. And there was when I thought, you know what, this job of teaching is becoming very comfortable. And here comes the next step that I have to jump to the market and work determinantly on bridging this gap between the theory and the practice.
That's very good. And I feel that it's a very unique perspective also for you as a marketing expert now when you do it for businesses, because you have many perspectives to look at. And I feel that, you know, I'm myself a marketing man myself, so I know that as much perspectives as you see, you do much better. So I want to ask you exactly on that note, now you're doing a strategic work for businesses as a marketing agency. So how do you, when a business comes to you and wants you to have his marketing strategy, how do you start? How do you build it? What do you look for when you look at that business?
Lovely. So when someone approaches me asking for a marketing strategy, the first thing that I do, I ask them questions about their history with marketing. And then we start, this is the theoretical part. We start doing marketing research. So after doing the marketing research, you start, based on the data that you collect, you start drafting strategies that will unify whatever marketing activities you are going to do at all levels of and channels of like touch points with the clients based on the data that you have collected before. And then from there, you start implementing the strategy, making sure that your strategy is adaptable and flexible. So you can always go back to it and fix it based on the more and more data that you are collecting in the market. So it all starts with market research.
Definitely agree with you. And as long as you know your avatar a bit better, that's how your marketing will succeed, right?
Exactly.
Amazing. So, and I know also that, so you've been doing it for many, many areas or fields of businesses. You're doing it for pharmaceutical, as you mentioned, and also education. So do you feel there is any change or is any difference between areas of field of business? You look at it differently when you approach to have their marketing?
Of course, every industry has its own unique characteristics. When you want to do marketing for healthcare, it's different than pharma, different than education. And now I'm in the market, I've seen a lot of tech companies doing startups. And also that's a totally different domain. So every time you want to serve any industry, you need to do market research for that particular industry. But you know what? The basics of marketing are the same. There are certain unchanging principles that will never change in marketing. How do you learn that? If you go to the classroom, you learn them, you go out, and then you start building up on whatever you have learned.
Amazing. I feel that it's really true. And at the end of the day, every business is different, even in the same field. Every business is different, but the principles are the same, as you mentioned. And I want also to speak to you a little bit about something very, very important to me, and I'm sure that to you. You mentioned your grandma, being the first entrepreneur in your family that you look up to, and you wanted to be like her. And you also, as a female entrepreneur, opened and created your own amazing business with your own two hands. So I want you to also inspire other female entrepreneurs listening to us right now to doing, to show him your success story and how you grew up and to do such amazing things, and maybe they can do it too,
Yeah. Well, for women, let me just tell you a little bit about my grandmother. In the 1970s, when all the women were doing domestic chores at home, my grandmother used to travel around the world. She went to Europe and the US, always to London, and she started her own bridal salon in the city, where that concept of a woman having business was totally unfamiliar. All right? For me, when I started my business, it was based on all the circumstances that surrounded me. But also, I've seen that in Dubai, they are giving you a lot of excellent opportunities to start your business. So based on this motivation and the outside and the feeling that you need to add more to the world, you can move. I mean, women can really move from being employees or salaried women or being at home to building their own business. But this is much easier said than done. So I'm not just saying every woman should leave her work and go to start her own business, but I'm saying that the chances now are much better than they used to be when my grandmother opened her salon.
Definitely. And there are so many, there's such a big need, I think, also. Exactly. And you also mentioned to me one thing on our call before this podcast. You said that you believe that women has a better success rate as entrepreneurs. I want you to elaborate on that, please.
With this, it's not only me who says that. Women have proven to bring more profit to their companies and grant more success of their startup businesses than men. The BCG, Boston Consulting Group, found out that women startups bring in average 78 cents out of $1 spent versus 31 cents out of $1 spent for male counterparts. So you can think of it. It's like 2 times more revenue if a woman is starting the business. And it's not only this. Women usually find it harder to get funding for their startups. People usually believe that the idea that comes from a man deserves more funding than the one for the woman. And not only this, women also pay higher interest rates to banks to fund their businesses. So with all this pressure, we are seeing that they make better return on investment. Actually, another study, interestingly, I was going through it 2 days ago from Kaufman Foundation. It says that women entrepreneurs bring 35% more revenue to the company than their male counterparts.
What do you feel is the reasons for that, for your opinion?
I tell you, I experienced it myself. Resilience, ambition. Poor women, they always want to prove that they are good and they are worth it. It's so funny. Resilience and ambition. And we also allow other people to be in management positions around us. So this added to the number of opportunities that we give for people to work with us is the reason why we succeed more in our startups than men.
Amazing. And I know one more thing is where I know that you've been teaching marketing for many years and you helped many young men and women succeed and have their career in marketing.
Exactly.
So if a young professional would approach you as of now and ask you for what do you think the best tip for me to make a good career in marketing, what is the tip you will give to him?
Excellent question. I always get asked this question by my students and the graduates also. The tip, if you want to be in marketing, getting your degree in marketing is not enough. It's only a license for you to start your marketing career, okay? So what you need to do, you need to continue learning all the time. And don't stop at the bachelor's degree. You need to add more professional certificates. Get yourself out of the traditional marketing because we understand that technology is much faster in real time than what it is in education. So don't wait for the textbooks to teach you how to feel comfortable with AI or how to get into the digital marketing. Put yourself in that situation, learn more, and stay persistent because nowadays the challenges are even higher. Challenge of finding a job is high, and the challenge of keeping your job is higher.
Definitely, and I feel that there are so many ways to get more knowledge, to be better.
Exactly.
Like
now you
it's free
can
and
do
available.
online courses are filling and they are really good. If you just put in your mind that you want to learn something, you can find a lot of resources that can help you.
Definitely. And I want to come back to marketing. And I feel that, part of what we are doing here and also you are doing for yourself, I've seen your Instagram pages, you are trying to create a personal brand for people. And we both know that creating a personal brand is one of the most powerful things a business owner can do for himself because then he or she, of course, can create something that will be priceless for him. People will reach out to him and know him for his own expertise. True. So if you can share some of the tips you've helped with other businesses create their own personal brand, what is the best way to do it?
Now, I don't promote people as personal brands. I usually create marketing strategies for businesses. But if you ask me about my personal experience, if you want to promote your personal brand, you have to have something that is unique about you. You have to differentiate yourself from the other people in the market. It takes a lot of time and effort and sleepless nights to create something that you can offer to the people as a person. You can offer value to them that will make them believe that if they deal with you, they can improve their businesses or get a good strategy. So it all has to do with how different you are from the other people in the market.
Definitely. It's always marketing is a question of being different. If you are different than others, you are doing good.
Differentiation, that's the word.
Definitely.
I always hated the word ordinary. I don't like ordinary. I love everything that is different. And I try to walk the talk and show everything different.
Of course.
Yeah.
And by the way, about the walk the talk, I want to ask you another question because you work a lot in creating strategies for businesses, marketing strategies. And the thing is that we know that strategy takes time to work, to implement, to get it running, to do good. And sometimes business owners or the CMOs, they say, okay, we don't want to do it anymore. We've had enough. We invested this and that time, and we want to drop it off. What do you say to CMOs, to business owners that tell you in the middle of your strategy that they want to do something else?
The first thing that I discuss with any business owner or the chief marketing officer is that if you have time, then we can work together. If you don't have time, I cannot help you. Why? Because I don't provide quick fixes. I look at, since I'm a pharmacist and in healthcare, I usually don't treat symptoms. I treat the cause, the disease itself. So when there is a brand that is suffering in the market, you want to tell me, I'll give you 2 weeks and you need to give me a marketing strategy. That will not work. It's not about quick fixes. You have to be patient. We have to take our time in market research. It could take between 4 to 6 weeks. And then after the research, to draft a strategy takes around 2 to 3 more weeks, and then the implementation. So for me, if someone is so much in a hurry to achieve marketing success, they can go to different sporadic marketing activities, which are short-lived. And the minute you stop doing them, like social media campaigns or something, if they are not based on an integrated strategy, I promise you, the minute you stop doing it, the effect will go down. So they are not long-lasting effect. The only thing that will give you long-lasting effect is your marketing strategy.
Definitely.
So if you're in a hurry, then you definitely don't need me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I agree with you so much. And I feel that creating big marketing maneuvers, creating big personal brands, maybe it's a game of the persistence and the stubborn.
Exactly.
This is what I feel it is, and I completely agree with you that. I want to ask you also, because I know that you've working with a lot of businesses, creating their marketing, creating strategies for them. What do you feel are the biggest mistakes that business owners do, or things they don't understand when they're trying to approach and work and create their strategy?
Your question takes me back to your first question, so you answered yourself. The major challenge that businesses face these days is getting involved and entrapped with fragmented marketing activities that give results instantly, but eventually they are going to result in wasted budgets and inconsistent output. So this mistake, when people say, oh, we've been doing this before and it was working, nothing keeps working forever. If people say, we don't have enough budget to do marketing, that's also not good, because if you don't know how to market your product, then no one's going to be interested to buy it from you. There are so many different misperceptions about marketing that I'm trying to correct while I'm in the market. But the major one of them is that you think that paying money for marketing tactics and scattered activities is going to make your brand successful.
Definitely. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more with what you're saying. And I want to also ask you, because I know that you're not only, helping businesses thrive and create better strategies for them, you're also lecturing and talking about marketing and about all those things. So I want to know in what forms it's in, you do lectures, you do workshops. What can we expect from that?
It has when you're in marketing, you have different faces that you can show to the clients. So some of my clients want me to educate the staff on how to deal with the social marketing campaigns and activities, or how to create a marketing strategy. Some others approach me because they want me to give courses in strategic marketing. Some others want the corporate training. So it really is different how to conduct. The knowledge is the same, but you just pass it on through either a workshop or a lecture or a webinar or a conference sometimes. So it has different faces.
Amazing. So there's many options, and whoever listens to us can choose what's the best way for him. I also want to talk to you a little bit about the right channels to perform, because digital marketing can go either way. It can go, as you said, webinars, website, social media, website. So there are so many other channels to go to. Which channel? How do you feel? How do you match between a business and the right channel for him? How do you find the right channel?
Okay, it all goes back to the history of dealing with the channels. If a company is a startup, that's another story. They will depend more on what the competitors in the market are doing and what market research we come up with. But if the company has its own data, then based on the data, we can figure out where their target audience is, what kind of media channels they are utilizing, what times do they consume media. So it all depends on what information are we collecting about the customers. I can never say that this particular company is going to work on social media or email marketing is the best, or the website. It's all integrated together. What you show on your website should have a message that you pass on social media channels, and then you have to have content creation and you have email marketing. All of them are talking about the same message. So which channel should you choose depends on where your customers are, what your budget is, and what does your company history tell you about the interaction of the clients and everything.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I want also to ask you, you told me secretly that you're writing a book about digital marketing and strategies. Yeah. And I want to know, it's not been written, it's not been published.
Not yet published,
as of now, but what can we expect from this book?
Okay, so my book is in its final stages of being designed now. I'm so happy I can even tell you the title of the book. I called it Clicks, Leads, and Strategy Feeds.
Nice, I like it.
It gives you a transformative approach to winning the digital marketing game, because digital marketing is a game. So it digs deep into the issue that I was talking about, the major challenge of businesses that cannot find their way in digital marketing. And it starts with the foundations of marketing as unchanged principles. Then it takes you into a journey that will change your perception about how digital marketing can be useful. It also introduces the reader to a platform that I have myself created called the Allen Access Model, which tells the reader how to craft a marketing strategy from scratch, from zero until you launch the brand. So I called it the Allen Nexus model because it talks about assessing, leveraging, and actuating everything that you create in that strategy.
It's also very memorable, so it's also good as a marketing expert. You have to have something memorable that people will always remember, right?
Yeah, but it's also, by the way, this is the fruit, the results of long and long years of research and teaching and learning in the same time. So I decided to write the book after over 2,000 hours of attending seminars and webinars, participating in like pursuing certificates, professional certificates. And all this was in the past 2 years and only about digital marketing and artificial intelligence.
Amazing.
So,
You just mentioned one very important thing, the AI, artificial intelligence. I feel that it's something that I can tell you for myself, for many other businesses, it just changed everything. So how can businesses right now, as we speak, can use AI in order to create better marketing? Because it also can be a cursing in disguise, you know?
That's right.
Because people that don't know how to use it correctly and with the right commands and right prompts can defect their digital marketing.
You're
So
right.
how can you do it in the right way?
Yeah, very good question. Now, a lot of people think that they know AI. You know, the world of AI is, it takes you to other worlds. So anyone should be aware that there is AI, but better to try and practice AI. Artificial intelligence is changing the whole map of marketing. And the very important thing about it is that it reduces the time, it saves the time that we spend on repetitive tasks that we do every day. And that said, I don't mean that we have to sit and relax because someone is taking the routine jobs from us. That gives us more chance to be innovative, to come up with ideas that can grow the business. So if someone wants to start with AI, a very important thing that they should learn, instead of just asking them to write an email or write a blog or anything, AI benefits from what you give to them. So the prompt engineering that we have learned the hard way, I encourage everyone to try and work on the prompts when they want to talk to AI. Tell them what you want, give them as many details as you can. Sometimes my prompt takes that much long of a paragraph. Why? Because I want to include every single detail related to the case, because it's so easy for you to get entrapped in this hype of creating content with AI, but it's all very general, and what comes to you comes to other people. For you to be different and be unique, you need to put the right prompts.
Definitely. And I feel that, as you said, as long as you give it more data, I try to upload PDFs. Actually, that's one of my tips. Like I do as much PDFs as I can with data, with information, with knowledge, everything I can, and I get amazing results.
Amazing
Like it's unbelievable. Like what you can do with it and how much time it saves. You know,
it saves a lot of time and it improves the quality of your work only if you know how to work with that.
Definitely. And Suhair, I want to ask you also, if business owners are listening to us right now and they want to have the best strategy, the best marketing strategy, you've mentioned market research, phenomenal thing, and it's actually the most important thing. But there are maybe other tips you can share from your wisdom, from your knowledge for so many years doing marketing?
Yeah. There is no such thing as the best marketing strategy, because marketing strategies are characterized by being adaptable. Okay. So you make a marketing strategy in one place, you move it to another place to try and implement it, it fails. You make a marketing strategy now and you try to implement the same strategy after 5 years, it fails. Okay. Entrepreneurs who want to go with marketing to market their products, they better consider a marketing strategy. Why? Because they can collect information, this data that we collect, it's not only to know more about the customers. Data usually gives you information. This information, if utilized properly and looked at correctly, it leads to knowledge, and the knowledge gives you wisdom. So the more information you collect and the more data you collect about your company, your industry, your clients, the wiser you are in creating a marketing strategy. The good thing here is that you don't need to do it yourself as an entrepreneur. Go to the specialist, hire somebody who really knows what they're doing and they know how to make marketing strategies for you, and coordinate with them. That's the easier way to do, and concentrate on your business, what you are so good at.
Definitely. That's the best way to do everything, that we are not doing 100% good, should transfer it to somebody else, pay, and get the best results and professional results from day one. This is the way to do better at business. I definitely agree with that. Dr. Hamouri, listen, we had this amazing conversation. We talked about so many things, and we are coming close to the end of this conversation. I'm very fortunate, very unfortunate, but could you just maybe share, before we finish this interview, one or more things you would like to say, to mention to the people watching us right now?
Yeah, I would love to say that if you are starting your own business, you better be very patient. I'm telling you that from a position of an entrepreneur who started her business 2 years ago. You have to be very patient. You have to expect to make mistakes and correct them. If you can, travel the world. The more you travel, the more you get exposed to other cultures, the more open you are in businesses. And at the local level, I'm saying that this Dubai and the UAE is giving us amazing opportunities to start our businesses, only with the right tools and with the right investment in time and effort. Don't stop being ambitious and keep aspiring.
That's right. Definitely. Keep aspiring, keep growing. I couldn't agree more. Dr. Suhair Hamouri, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, and I'm really happy that you came to this podcast and spoke with us.
I'm so happy to meet with you, Elias, and I wish we can meet more times.
I wish you as well. Let's do it again, definitely. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Business Time, the main stage for your business.